Good evening. This is the Town of Amherst Historic Preservation Commission meeting for March 12th, 2024. Call to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mancuso,
Here.
Amplement,
Present.
Swartz,
Here.
Waterman Culpa, Hershey, Kenzie.
She said she's running a little late.
Okay. For the town, Marinucci, Fidel here, Quinn, here, Robshaw, Howard, and I believe we might also have legal counsel here. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, our first order of business. Actually, I'd like to introduce our town board liaison, Ms. Angela Marinucci, to the board. She's here joining us in person for the first time, so welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Nice to see everyone. Excited to be part of the commission.
Thanks very much. Can I have a review of the minutes from February 20th, 2024? That's our first item. And if no one has any changes, can I get a motion to approve? Motion. Second. Norm Hershey, second. All in favor? Aye. All right, motion carries 4-0. All right, under new business, item number 1. We've got St. Mary's Mother House, 400 Mill Street hardship request. The town of Amherst was delivered a letter that's in your packet, item 1A. In the letter, it states a more detailed hardship application will be prepared and submitted at a later date. As to my knowledge, we have not received that hardship application. So I'm merely just acknowledging that we've received this letter.
Hold
Can
on.
we introduce
Can we-
Ms. Kenzie?
I'm sorry. Did you say we have not received the application?
To my knowledge.
Okay. So the application in a sense is this letter. The application materials, as in their argument for how they meet the criteria, they have not submitted that yet.
Right.
But we are waiting for the file deadline for the April meeting, since they weren't going to meet the March meeting. But this is the official application, if you will, for the hardship request. So it would be our task to then schedule a public hearing for them to then submit that material for.
Yes. However, I don't think we would have enough time to review any of the information before hearing it at a public meeting. I think we need a chance to look over the information to prepare ourselves and do some homework before setting a public hearing.
So how much time would you need exactly?
Yeah, can we open? Yeah, I'd like to open discussion with the members.
Okay.
So it's my feeling that I'd like to have something in front of me in order to review, in order to be prepared, perhaps do a little research, do some homework on the information we're going to receive, and then set a public hearing. There's no, we're not sure of, which criteria. There's 4 possible criteria that they could ask on, but does anyone else have any thoughts?
Does this body approve the hardship, or is that do we make a recommendation to the board?
That would be this body then
body.
would then review that hardship application. And to be clear, it would have to meet all of the criteria, not just pick one of them.
Well, so there's 4 different hardship criteria they could apply for. They would have to tell us which one and provide the information that would be required for us to judge. I don't know how we could set a public meeting without.
Well, that's why this letter isn't an application. It's a notice that they're going to do a more
Right.
detailed
I mean,
application.
it says in the letter, a more detailed hardship application will be prepared and submitted at a later date. That's very ambiguous.
And just to correct James, they don't have to pass all 4 tests. They just apply under one criteria.
They would be applying for all the criteria. It says "and" in the local law.
So they have to pass all 4 tests.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay. I would say at a minimum, we would need a 2-week period of review after anything is submitted. Does that sound
Agreed.
fair?
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, that's standard.
I can notify the petitioners of that request, and I imagine they will have submitted some material.
Yeah,
But then I will be able to set the public hearing. But do we have
Should I make a motion or should
date
someone
in
should someone
mind?
make a motion to? Well, well, put it this way. Without any information in front of us, we couldn't think about setting a public hearing at any meeting. Like this is just sort of a notification letter.
Of what
With-
their intentions are.
Right. It's right. It's sort of a letter of intent. That's right. That's right. So I would say, to let the petitioner know that we require a 2-week period after anything is submitted to review. And then if it's in time, we can talk about setting a public hearing.
So you need 2 weeks?
At least, yeah.
Okay. I don't have it actually. Sorry, 1 second. The file deadline for the April 9th meeting is 2 weeks ahead of the meeting.
Okay.
So I think if we utilize that, that would give you the sufficient review time. I think my urgency, to be honest, is to be able to file the public notice in time.
Yeah, how long?
typic-
What's your process on that, James?
I need to file the notice with the Amherst Bee, which is a Wednesday afternoon. So to give sufficient notice period, that's typically 10 days for the HPC. I just want to,
So it would have to be tomorrow, the 13th, in order to get it in the paper by the 19th.
correct.
Yeah. Well,
That's not happening.
Let's see, I'm trying to get a. No, it would then be in the following, so yeah, the 20th.
the 20th, excuse me. Okay. So they have, I guess, a week to submit.
But then we don't have our opportunity to review to
Well,
then
we'd
go
have 2
forward.
weeks before if we agree to hold a public hearing. Yeah. When do we have to set the public hearing, James?
So we're not necessarily restricted by time period, but the April 9th is just our next meeting
Okay.
on our schedule.
Okay.
So that was all my only thought. Ten 10 days. Yes.
Yeah. And if I suppose then we would also have to have correspondence between members to agree
Agree, right.
that if it's sufficient enough information. Yeah.
I'm also not even sure if the applicant is prepared for a public hearing based on the letter. I don't know if they're ready to present at the hearing. I mean, that's another case
Yeah,
too.
Right.
suppose I don't.
I would, unfortunately almost say that April 9th is almost out of the question at this point, just because we're not going to have enough time to review any of the information.
Okay, I can notify the petitioner.
Yep. Thank you. Do we need a motion to request that, or can we just adjourn this item?
think it'd be most appropriate to adjourn.
Yeah, keep it on the agenda and adjourn it to the next meeting. All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn item number 1.
Second.
Second by Jen Kenzie. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries 5-0. Okay, item number 2, local landmark plaques for the 2 properties here, Hassauer and Richfield. So I believe I'd like to remove Hassauer House from consideration at this point. But I would like to move forward with 38 Richfield. Ms. Robshaw emailed the other day and said she was working on the correspondence. So that's in process. And I would like to consider perhaps putting this plaque on a piece of street furniture because it's not manufactured yet. I think there's time to alter the design in order so it can go on a piece of the street furniture. James, do you have any of the pictures of the street furniture, or is that later on? No, okay, not yet. Nope. That's okay. Yeah, I think we're going to have to make a decision on which piece to put it on. And I believe it was the former chair that was in contact with the company. Is that correct? Like who placed the order? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I just didn't know if there was any contact, if anyone, or if you were in contact with and I'm sorry, I don't know the name offhand. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had an order from our last budget.
Yep.
We just have to tell them which.
Yep. Okay. All right.
Had to,
No.
No, but it has been, the order has been placed. Has been
Right.
Might be wise to go out and have it formed to attach to the place you want.
It's exactly. Yep. Yep. So then, okay.
see if we can do that.
Yeah. If nobody minds, I can contact the manufacturer and discuss different design options for the plaque. And I think it would be my recommendation to put it on another piece of the street furniture to highlight more of it. Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right around when you go past the site and the previous home, it's the one there. But it's a historic site because on Payne Avenue on Wheatfield, Payne, sign recognizing Payne.
Colonel Payne. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where he was born, where he lived, but the house is not there. There's a sign mounted just there to indicate that. Oh, it's a pedestal, a steel post. and
Yeah.
Secure.
Yeah.
That's an idea. Don't want to mount directly to the street furniture.
Yep. All right, let me discuss some of the options with Mr. Howard and the sign manufacturer. We'll come up with a plan. Yeah.
Think about putting one celebrating. Coming at it with the bronze with this one.
No.
Side of the street. Give James something else to do.
Sure. Okay. Then we would have to amend, because we are in possession of the one plaque currently. It's on James's desk, I believe. We'd have to figure out how to mount that to some sort of pole. It's not really designed to accept it. So we might have to fabricate some kind of back plate or something like that to affix it to. I love it.
Bring it on.
Okay, is that all right? Can the three of us talk and we'll discuss with highway or whatever and figure that out? Is everyone amenable to that?
No, I think it's a great idea. I mean, anything we can do from like a wayfinding perspective to establish, some kind of corridor or boundaries and people's like, okay, I'm in a significant place. I think
Okay.
this is smart.
Okay. Okay, so we kind of bled into item 5, but we will go back to that. Yeah. Okay. So I guess do we adjourn? Do we motion to adjourn this until the next until more homework's done on it?
Like, we're waiting on that, right? It's the Richfield letter
Yep.
we're waiting on, and then, well, we were gonna revisit the list and see if there were any other potential candidates on that,
No, I think
or is
I've-
everything covered?
what we're going to do is, it sounds like the idea is to take the existing one we have and create a match to it and then figure out a way to mount them on either end
Do another
Yep.
furniture one
Yep.
instead of trying to do an.
instead of trying to do a house. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Be more visible. Sure. Okay. So I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Kenzie. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Item number 3, the CLG grant submission. We've agreed to, Mr. Ampleman, myself, and Ms. Waterman Culpa have agreed to meet on Thursday, March 28th via Zoom to discuss, and Ms. Marinucci as well. Yep. To discuss planning. I received good news from council member that the board is somewhat favorable to going forward. Yeah, with the matching.
Preliminarily, the board is open to supporting the matching funds from the town of Amherst to move this forward. So we're excited for that. Obviously, as we get to the point where we're submitting, we'll solve that down. But yes, we've had those conversations.
All right. That's great news. Thank you. Do you have a question? Is there any, or can I answer any question? Sorry. No, that's okay. That's, yeah. No.
No design standards, right?
Yes. It's going to be a usable document that we could use to set ourselves up for success when trying to recommend landmark districts. Yep. So we have to have these guidelines in hand, and that'll set us in more of a local way.
Right. And I also think it'll help inform property owners when they want to contemplate changes to the property or something, some kind of set of rules that they can see beforehand.
It's
before
yeah.
approaching us.
It's a shareable document that we'd like to just be able to be distributed to interested parties, property owners. So it's we think it's good to be more open. Okay. I don't think there's any action we have to take on it. We haven't moved forward with any information on it yet. So I don't think I need to adjourn it. I think I'm just gonna
And you
Move
received,
on.
we have the procurement policy information.
yes, I
as
should say
part of
that too. Thank
right?
you. Yeah, the town forwarded the procurement policy, so we're aware of protocol. Thank you. Okay, item number 4, Preservation Day planning. We had a meeting on Friday, March 1st. Yes, it was March 1st. There was quite a few of us at that Zoom meeting. We've got a robust list of tasks. We're all pretty excited. We're going to change the program a bit, I believe, for this Preservation Day, but here
More
we're
presentations?
more presentations. Yep.
Emphasis on speakers
Yep, that's right.
who
And-
have either owned or maintained
Yep.
historic residences or buildings.
Trying to make this more of a regional draw. And if possible, introduce workshops, physical hands-on workshops, if we can make it happen. Okay, that's all I have for new business. Old business, number 5, landmark plaques, Harlem Road, Main Street entranceways. So what I was proposing to do is affix one of the plaques to this piece of street furniture here because of its design would allow for the plaque to rest flush and not be subject to vandalism. But it sounds like we're going to change course and figure out a different way to install the plaques on either end of the run down Main Street. So I believe we can remove this idea of LeBron. Although it's not listed here on the item, so
It's just Main Street.
Main Street entranceway,
entranceway.
yeah. So we're going to leave that alone. No need to adjourn. It's just in process.
And Harlem Road, we're just waiting for the weather
We're
to
waiting for the
continue and
weather.
improve.
Yep. Is there any indication when they might with the nicer weather?
When I asked facilities about it, they said, I think, what degrees? I think they were waiting for like 50 or 40 or 50s, which it is currently.
We're still, yeah.
So I can re-ask and see what they're thinking.
Yeah, I mean, we're only going to get it for the next couple days or so, and then it's going to go back down. So if if they have to wait until April, May, that's fine with us.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Item number 6, the education plan. You'll see on the back of your packet what it is in printed form. Some simple changes. That's a picture of last year's Preservation Day event.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
So-
And James is going to actually click the link for us.
So I believe the request largely focused on just updating the material, updating the commission information. We have a picture of last year's Preservation Day. And then something else that was added was the filing deadlines, which we frequently discuss, but I just wanted to make sure those were posted to the website.
Yep. Thank you.
And then, of course, updated member list and our town board liaison.
Okay, great.
So that's all up to date.
All right.
Did we not have a picture from 2022?
We did not.
21 and 23.
Gotcha.
Okay. So that concludes old business. Actually, I'd like to, if there's no other discussion on the education plan, I'd like to make a motion to remove it from the agenda.
I'm just playing phone
Go ahead.
tag
Yep.
back and forth with Brendan Kelly, I think, from PBN. So I'm still working on that.
Oh, okay.
Part of
As
our
far as education, I see. Okay, I will rescind my motion then. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
Can I add that I'd like to have it say education plan and trainings, like something to having to do with the upcoming trainings for the board on the title?
As opposed to
I
presentations.
suppose the presentations, yeah. Thank you. There's plenty available. I do get the emails almost weekly from the NAPC. Thank you. Yes. So there's plenty of opportunity to do the trainings, and you'll all just please keep track of the ones that you attend. All right. So that'll conclude old business. I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session. We have an applicant for the board. So can I have a second to that?
Second?
Second by Mr. Appleman. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion carries 5-0. We will enter into executive session. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, nobody from the public is here, so I suppose you can just go ahead and do it. Yeah, make sure we go into a pause.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to end our executive session and come back into the commission meeting.
I'll ma-
Second by Norm Hershey. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 5-0. And that will conclude our agenda. And I will, unless any board member has any other items they'd like to add? Nope. All right, I will make a motion to adjourn.
I will second.
Second by Mr. Appleman. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, everyone.